casserole, friends. Today, I'm here with one question for you. Have you ever felt like an imposter to your own feelings? Guess what? You're not alone in this. I've been there, and there's a lot of other people that could relate to this as well. I'm sure of it. In recent times, especially after spending a couple years in deep self-reflection, and just getting back to what really excites me, what really sparks my inner child's light, I have been noticing my core beliefs and my reactions to them, especially when I'm trying to express myself to others. If you could relate to growing up in an environment where you've had your feelings constantly invalidated, or noticed that you were treated better when you silenced your authentic feelings or you shunned your inner voice, it may be hard enough for you already to simply get your feelings up to the surface so that you're able to share them with someone that you love and trust. But then comes, dun dun dun, the realization that even when you're ready to express yourself, you are still your own worst enemy in this game I like to call sharing your feelings so that you can live a life of truth, liberation, and authentic expression. Because you have now developed a habit of self-gaslighting, causing your own inner parent and inner critic to be a voice that sounds like this. Seriously? You're crying again? And about what? You should have really went to drama school because every time you give us a show. Imagine how tired we are. Dealing with this sort of criticism from your own self when you're already working towards learning how to share your feelings in a more healthy and openly communicative way can be difficult, to say the least. And this is something that I am still working on myself. If you can relate to ever feeling like an imposter to your own feelings, or feeling fraudulent for having feelings to begin with, there are definitely ways for you to work through this so that you can develop a more healthy relationship with your own emotional expression. First, I'd say it's high time you reevaluate your inner parent. Reflect on where these self-gaslighting judgments and hypercritical inner voices were developed to begin with. In childhood for many people, or as an adult in an unhealthy work environment, as a teenager in an unhealthy school environment. Whatever the case may be, we all deserve to exist in a world where we are safe to express how we're feeling no matter the circumstance. Next, be sure that you are creating an environment inside and outside of yourself that supports This is a major key. In my eyes, for my life, this has been a major key. I found that deep reflective conversations with my sister about my feelings or my fear of expressing myself because of invalidation has led me to heal my own self-gaslighting behaviors because she is just a ball of acceptance. Really having someone that just lets you speak your truth and honors that is so essential to your process of relearning how to speak to your own self and should allow you to take up as much space as you need in that moment without judgment. If that is not accessible to you, I find a journal to be a very strong tool to write down how you're feeling, and specifically with moments of self-gaslighting and imposter syndrome. It may be useful to ask yourself questions like, what in my life may have subconsciously taught me that having emotions is not allowed in this space? How can I better validate my own feelings on a day-to-day basis? Most of all, simply writing down how you're feeling in that present moment, even if it begins with some discomfort, it is so important to the process of working towards no longer self-gaslighting, because it teaches you how to validate your feelings to begin with so that you no longer have to feel fraudulent or like you have no right to them. I would like to add that yes, I am a Leo, so dramatics and theatrics can be my lane, but I've realized that when invalidating my own experience, it can lead to my feelings later coming out in more explosive ways that can then be deemed as more dramatic than was necessary. This because I've bottled everything up to avoid being judged or seen as overdramatic. So you see where the problem lies. I found the more I take a moment when I'm upset or triggered to responsibly communicate my feelings, it definitely saves the dramatics for places that they are necessary and useful, like making a YouTube video. And over time, after some patience with yourself and some much needed intention on healing this overly loud inner critic that tries to shame you and judge you to filth, your own thoughts will start to sound a little bit more like this. What's wrong? I'm upset. Honestly, I understand why you might feel that way, you know? Yeah. You do have a right to your feelings, so we're going to let them flow so you can work through your emotions in a healthy way and not deny your self-expression, which creates blockages in our emotional body and makes us feel shameful or resentful for having them to begin with, which ultimately is not useful for our growth and evolution as a person and a soul having a human experience. That's exactly what I was gonna say. So go back to a time where you felt your feelings were invalidated and say, you know what? I deserve to feel my feelings and I will validate them myself from here on out. It isn't always easy, but once you begin to actively do things to where you feel heard by your own self, when it comes time to share your feelings with others, you won't be so quick to deny yourself the space and the compassion to do what we as humans are bound to do and therefore have a right to do, and that is to feel. I'll see you guys next video. Thank you for having this lovely true talk with me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you take small steps, even if that is setting the intention to being a little bit more kind and accepting of your own self, because you are beautiful, you are lovely, you are loving, and you deserve it. Stay true, loves. Bye.